The story begins on Academy Island, where our hero, Shinohara, a transfer student, introduces himself as the school's newest 7-star student in a world where everything and everyone is ranked and everyone is trying to be number one. As he introduces himself, he boastfully declares that he is superior to everyone else and dares the other students to compete with him. But this turns out to be false, and he begins to panic and wonder what to do next right after he finishes his speech. Hiro looks at his phone and realizes that everyone now thinks he's a loser. This makes him feel like he can't handle it. We learn that a student's rank is based on how many stars he or she has collected, and that the best way to get stars is to play games with other students. So, the people in charge say that this is the best way to get the coveted 7-star rank. Hiro says that he doesn't even want to be a 7-star student, so he doesn't understand what's going on. Hiro got lost a few hours ago when he was trying to find the academy, and a beautiful girl named Sarsaka is looking at him. So he called out to her and asked her where he should go. She checks his phone and tells him he is in the wrong district as she points to where his school is. Since they are both in their second year, Sursa tells him not to be so formal. He also tells him that his device shows his academy information to people with a higher rank. Hiroto said he skipped the tutorial, so Sursa gives him an introduction. She tells him that the academy has its own social media app called Stock, which he can use to talk to the other students. She shows him how to send a game request and leads him to the right district, but then she realizes it's time for her to go back to her academy. So, she says goodbye. But as she walks away, the sprinkler starts spraying water, which makes her angry because she thinks Hiroto did it on purpose and accuses him of leading her on.
ねえ、どうしたの？いや、私？ここ3番区よ。ねえ、はこっち。地図を読むで見せてくれる？デバイスは。おかしかったわ。今のは偶然？それともあなた？
はあ？いや、だから違う。
Hiroto tries to say that this is not true, but Sursa cuts him off and says that he is trying to use her. She challenges him to a game, which he agrees to. When the game is over, he tells her to listen to him. Sursa tells him to send a game request because the lower-ranked player must make the request. He does so, but he can't set the game details. Sursa says that the player with the lower rank gets to choose the game, so they aren't at a disadvantage. But Hiroto sent an empty request, so he must think he can beat her at anything. But this isn't true because Hiroto didn't even know how to use the device. Because of this, Sursa gets to choose the game. She decides to have a turn-based staring contest with him, where the person who reacts in any way loses. Sursa tells Hiroto that during his turn, he can make a face to try to get his opponent to react. Hiroto is ready to start right away, which surprises Sursa because he hasn't even set an ability. She says that abilities can have a big effect on the game, so she doesn't think Hiroto is listening to her. Hiroto has 1 minute to get her to do something, but Sursa can change time, so he only has 10 seconds. This surprises him, and before he can do anything, his turn is over. Sursa uses another power to make a beam sword, which she uses to attack him in an attempt to make him look tired. Other students start to watch their game. Sursa is happy that our clothes are drying, but then the sprinkler starts spraying at her again, making her sword vanish and her clothes get wet again. Sursa says that she was about to have her orientation ceremony, where she was supposed to speak as a representative of the academy. But she worries about doing it while drenched. Hiroto says it was just a coincidence. When her turn is over, she accuses him of setting up the sprinkler. She feels embarrassed that the other students are staring at her, so she tells them to stop. But this makes her lose the game, and her star goes to Hiroto. At that moment, the butler tells Hiroto that his mistress, Natsumi, wants to see him. He goes to her office, where Natsumi tells him that he made a big mess and broke a very important rule. She says he used dirty tricks to beat a student from another school, which isn't usually a problem. But she tells him that his opponent got the best score on her academy's entrance exam, and that as the best student on the island, she has never lost. Her family, the Silogis, started the Academy Island, and her grandfather, Masamine, is the island's current head director. So, she is a very important person. Natsumi says that Hiroto barely passed the entrance exam, which gives him a very low status. However, he beat Sursa, so this could upset Masamine. She says that the director would do anything to protect the name of his family, but she also says that the academy can save him if they make him a 7-star student. Natsumi tells Masamine that he wouldn't be so obsessed with Sursa if another 7-star student beat him. But Hiroto says that since he only has 1 star, he doesn't deserve the title. Natsumi tells him to look at his star, which is strange because it should be white. Natsumi says it's a special star that lets the person who has it lie about anything. So, she tells him to use that lie to make himself look like a student with 7 stars. Natsumi says that not many people know what the red star does, but she does because she used to have one. Natsumi tells him that her plan is to make him look like a genius who got into 7 stars on his first day, but she also gives him the option to leave the academy. Hiroto thinks about how he wants to find someone, so he decides to go along with her plan. Back in the present, Natsumi laughs at Hiroto and says that what he said was the perfect way to trick someone psychologically.
私はしたたかな女の話だがどや
バカにしてますよね。
素晴らしい演技期待してるよ。
She has found him a dorm and told him where it is, so he leaves right away to go there. Sursa pulls him into an alley while he's on his way, saying that she heard his speech and is curious about what he's up to. Sursa thinks he's going to tell her secret, so she begs him to stop, saying she has good reasons for lying. Hiroto has no idea what she's talking about, but Sursa tells him not to act like he doesn't know what she's talking about as she tells him she's not the real Sursa. Her real name is Rina, but she has been playing Sursa at the academy. Rina thinks that her secret is out because he took the red star from her. The legend says that whoever holds the red star finds out what the previous holder lied about. But Hiroto says she was the one who told him her secret. He says he's a total noob, but Rina doesn't believe him because he already has 7 stars. Hiro tells her that he's been lying with the red star and that he's actually at the lowest rank. He has his own reasons for lying, though. Rina is surprised by this because she now knows that he only won their game by accident and that she just told him her secret. But Hiroto is also surprised because she isn't really the granddaughter of the director, so there was no reason for him to lie about being a 7-star student. When he gets to his dorm, which turns out to be a mansion, a girl named Yuki is there to greet him. She says she will be staying in that house and that she is his new assistant. Yuki tells Hiroto that she doesn't like Natsumi, and since Hiroto can understand her, she thinks they'll get along. She tells him in secret everything she knows about the island, including the fact that it has 20 academies that are ranked every year. Depending on how many stars its students have, the academy gets benefits based on how it ranks. She tells them that students with 5 stars are considered advanced, and the more advanced students an academy has, the higher it will rank. Everyone on the island wants to get a 7-star student because an academy with a 7-star student will almost certainly reach the top rank. She shows him Rina's game results, but she knows that Hiroto will never be able to beat them because Rina could use level 7 abilities while Hiroto can only use level 1 abilities because his true rank is only 1 star. This makes him less skilled than the other players. But Yuki says that as long as he keeps acting like a 7-star student, the company will help him win games. He is surprised to see that he already has 42 game requests when she shows them to him. She helps him choose an opponent and tells him he needs to make a good impression because some people still don't believe in him. Hiroto doesn't know how he's going to win, so she tells him they're going to cheat and gives him an earpiece to wear. Kagaya, who is in charge of electronics at the company, uses it to talk to him. Yuki says that Kagaya is a hacker, so she can hack his opponent's device to help Hiroto win. Hiro says it's sneaky, and Yuki says it's against the rules, but he wants to be the strongest, so he goes along with the plan. The next day, with help from the company, he beats his opponent, and as he walks to the alley, he thinks it was too easy. He now trusts the company because he knows how reliable they are. Later, we see Hiroto walking around campus. The company tells him that a student named Haru has asked for a good game. He goes to an arena where an announcer introduces Haru and Hiroto to everyone. Rina is welcomed as the special guest, and Haru challenges Hiroto to a 100-meter race where anything goes, saying that he'll never be faster than Rina. She pulls out her bike, which Rina thinks is her secret weapon because vehicle performance is the key to winning the game. But Hiroto is still walking, and everyone is curious about what he's thinking. Hiroto was hoping that she wouldn't use her ability to cancel out interference, but Haru tells him that she is using it and that his powers are now useless. They start the game, and Haru's car races to the finish line, but it stops suddenly, sending her flying. She is saved when a foam cushion softens her fall, and Hiroto says he knows her plan. We find out that Yuki told him to use 3 disabled abilities to counter the opponent's nullify interference. Yuki said that because his level is too low, he needs 3 disabled abilities. As Hiroto walks past Haru, he says he used a level 7 disabled ability to counter her nullification and then a force stop ability to stop her bike. But in reality, Kagaya's skills as a hacker were what stopped the bike. He also tells a lie about how he used a protection ability to soften her landing, when in fact Kagaya did it. He then crosses the finish line, which lets him win the game. Rina goes up to him after the match and tells him she's going to beat him. She also gives him a note telling him to meet her after the match. Before he goes there, he tells Yuki to stop listening for a while, so she turns off the monitoring and tells him to be careful. In a quiet cafe, he meets Rina and asks her about her secret. Rina says that the real Circe was taken from her home more than a year ago, but the person who did it didn't make any demands. Since she was friends with Circe, the kidnapper asked her to stand in for her to see what she would do. She says that the Sailaji children almost never go outside until they are in high school, so they are given friends. She was chosen to be one of these friends. This is why no one knows what Circe really looks like, and it was easy for Rina to take her place. She doesn't know when the real Circe will come back, but she wants to protect Circe's reputation until then by keeping her secret from Hiroto. Rina doesn't want Hiroto to win because if he does, the person who gets the red star will find out her secret. She also says that Natsumi is protecting her because she thinks she is the real Circe. This makes Hiroto realize that he would have to leave the island if her secret gets out. He tells her about the childhood friend he's looking for and says that she's somewhere on the island, so he can't be kicked off until he finds her. Since they both want the same thing, they decide to work together and share ideas to stay in touch. The next day, he meets Rina. At first, they are both proud of themselves, but then they look up and see a strange man laughing at them. But this video is over now. Tell me in the comments if you want to see more of this series. Don't forget to like the channel and sign up for it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.